Okay, everybody, I want to make sure that you guys are all very, very clear on what I am talking about with respect to a pipeline. Okay, so let's start off with the database. A database is basically a consolidation of every person that you want to have an ongoing relationship with. These are most likely people that like you, trust you, they've interacted with you in the past, maybe they're previous clients, maybe they're people that you know from church or work or previous jobs. Maybe they are your friends, your family, your old classmates, your people from high school or college or whatever it may be. So these are all the people that you interact with on social media that you would find in your cell phone. And you take all those people together. Ideally, those go into command, of course, and you have as much contact information as possible. So certainly a bare minimum of first and last name, direct cell phone number, best email address, and of course, because we're in the real estate business, it would be great to have their mailing address too. And any notes that you have on the family, right? What's their pets' names? Do they have any pets? Where do they like to vacation? How old are the kids? Um, any updates that you're getting as you're communicating with them systematically, right? Somebody was born, somebody passed away, they adopted a child, their dog died, they got a new dog, whatever it may be. All the notes that you have, remember, we're in the business of collecting data. So we want to keep all of that in one place. Now, Gary Keller and the KWRI research team say now that for every 16 people that you have in your database, that you systematically communicate with them, which in Keller Williams speak means 36 touches per year, you should have one unit close every year. So therefore, if you want 10 sales in a year, you should have a database of 160 met people local, okay? Everyone that is maybe part of a farm that you don't have a relationship with, or maybe somebody from a different city or state or something that doesn't interact in, Metro Atlanta, then that would be people that should be in the database, but should be over and above the number that we're studying. So 10 units would be 160, 20 units would be 320. If you've got 50 people from New York in your database, it should be on top of the 320 if your goal is to do 20 sales. Okay. Now, there's a small segment of the people in your database that are going to be what's called the pipeline. My definition for pipeline is when somebody says that they intend to buy or sell a home in the next 12 months. Okay. So what that means is you know how to reach them, right? Contact information, name, number. You have been led to believe that they have a definitive time frame involved for their goal. You're aware of what their goal is, right? When the school year ends, I will be selling, or when the divorce is final, we will be selling, right? They have a definitive time period that you can clearly take note of, okay? And that they do not appear to have a relationship with another realtor that is committed, meaning you are likely either the person or you at very least will have an opportunity to interview to be the person, okay? So if all that qualifies, then they should go into your pipeline. Now, what I always recommend is having a visual pipeline, okay? That forces us to you don't have to like go digging to see who's on the pipeline, because psychologically what's going to happen is if you happen to be behind, right, if your pipeline's not large enough, or people are that you thought were going to transact or not transacting, you're not going to go digging through command for or any other spreadsheet to identify who's ready and who's not, okay? And ultimately what's going to happen is you're therefore not going to grow it at the rate it needs to be grown at, and you're not going to monitor it at the pace it needs to be monitored. So what I recommend is something like this. Let's pretend that this right here is a big cork board or a dry erase board or something like that. And what I did is I have 4 different colors. I have this orange, this light blue, this purple, and this white. You can do whatever you want, okay? And what we do is we are identifying 4 different groups of people, okay? It's all arbitrary, but this is what I recommend, okay? If the person intends to buy or sell within the next 2 months, let's rank them at 10. And in this example, we're going to call them orange, okay? So Jones is a buyer, and he's probably going to spend around 350 according to what we believe, what we've talked to him about, okay? And the 10s are the following people: right? Jones, Stevens, Michaels, Maxwell, Marks, all these people intend to buy or sell within the next 2 months. These are super hot opportunities here, okay? Somebody that is 3 to 4 months away, maybe use this color, this light blue color. We've got a couple of those. We've got Bagwell, Howard, Paul, and I don't have a name here. Let's call it Williams, okay? And then we have, those are 3 to 4 months away from you getting paid, from them finalizing the transaction, okay? Then we have some people that are 5 to 6 months away. We'll call those the purples. I would rank them a 8, okay? Rank them an 8 if they're 5 to 6 months away. And then we've got a couple of whites here that are 7 to 12 months away from transacting, okay? Now, and we have Player, it's a buyer, 375. Mason, it's a buyer, 700. And so what we've identified here is this would be looking at you all the time when you are sitting at your workstation. Now that of course implies that you have a workstation, right? And this is where your goals are posted, maybe your dream board is posted, and certainly your pipeline. Now, if for example, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people in my pipeline right now, okay? Now, if all 13 of these ultimately transacted business, then I'd be paid 13 times, okay? My recommendation is to have 3 times the number of sales that you anticipate having in a year on your pipeline at all times. So for example, if this was posted on in somebody's workspace and I walked into their office, I would say, okay, this person has a goal to sell 13 divided by 3 is probably about 4 to 5 units this year, because not all these people are going to do exactly what they said they're going to do. It's just not going to happen. And so we have to have more than enough people on this to support our goals. So if you intend to sell, let's say 12 units this year, you should have at least 36 people on this pipeline. If you do not have 36 people on this pipeline, there's a very small chance that you're going to sell the 12 homes. Okay, so what you need to be thinking about is, if you were to focus on just simply one thing, is how do I get more people on this list, right? You're gonna talk to the people that you know, potentially talk to people you do not know, because if you don't fill this up, you're not gonna have enough closings to hit your goal. Okay. Now, the other thing that we need to consider here is how much money you're going to be paid to help all of these people. So for example, if I have, let's say James is going to spend 175 and Simon's going to spend 450. So this is going to be about a $13,000 check, and this is going to be about a $5,000 check. Okay. So what happens if my business budget and or my personal budget requires more than this? That means that I need to go find some people that intend to do business with me in the next 6 months. Okay. Now, we also got to remember that this is a living document. So in my course of my daily lead generation and lead follow-up, I might have a conversation with Maxwell, who I expect to go under contract in the next month or so, and he says, "Oh, my wife is sick, so we're going to look at this back in the fall." Okay, so you need to take Maxwell off of this page, and you need to put it back on the page with a different color, because Maxwell's not going to pay you in the next 2 months, let's say, anymore. So this is a living document. There's going to be people that come onto this, off of this. There's going to be people that speed up their time frame and slow down their time frame. And the best way to forecast to make sure that you are going to get paid systematically and repetitively, right, in the amount of time you need it to happen, is to make sure that a document like this is in place and always updated. Now, if you do not have enough people on your pipeline, you got to ask yourself, where am I going to be earning the money that I need to pay my living expenses in that amount of time? Okay, so if you're watching this video and you say, well, I don't currently know anybody that wants to buy or sell a home in the next 12 months, then we have to ask ourselves, how much penetration have we given to our database to extract, to determine if ultimately, are there sales in here that I just don't know about? Or if you were to have spoken to everybody in your database within the last quarter, let's say, and none of those people anticipate buying or selling, you got to meet some strangers. You're going to have to grow the database. Okay, so ultimately, let's summarize. We need to rank the database people, or I'm sorry, the pipeline people. 10s are 2 months or less. 9s, 3 to 4 months away from transacting. 8s, 5 to 6 months away from transacting, and 6 to 12 months away from I'm sorry, 7 to 12 months away from transacting. Let's call them a 7. So the sheet is very simple. I would say name, amount of money they want to spend, and maybe whether they're a buyer or seller. Okay, this is not the place for like all the data. That's where the database is. I know you can do this in command. What I'm recommending is that this look you in the face all day long at your workstation. This is a reality check. You're either on track to close the number of people that you need to close to hit your financial goals, or you're not currently there. And if you're not currently there, then you need to take an honest assessment of where are these people going to come from. Do I need to go make some more calls? Do I need to open houses? Do I need to do Facebook ads? Do I need to do some door knocking? Do I need to do some business to business connections? Because ultimately, if they're not on the pipeline, you're not going to get paid to help them. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you.